July 8, 2011 seemed like just another ordinary day. On this fine day, many people went to Darien Lake Amusement Park Resort for a fun day out. The theme park is located 30 miles east of New York and was famous for many of its exciting rides. The park had all kinds of activities for all family members. From roller coasters and water slides to animal experiences, festivals, food and different kind of games, there was never a dull moment. Unfortunately though, the day would end in tragedy. James Hackemer, a 29-year-old decorated war veteran, fell from one of the roller coasters named the Ride of Steel. Up until this day, this theme park is still known for this tragic event. What happened to Sergeant James Hackemer that day? This is the infamous roller coaster tragedy of the steel roller coaster at Six Flag Darien Lake. Darien Lake Resort is a Six Flags theme park located in Corfu, New York that opened its doors in 1981. In no time, the park became known for its 8 thrilling roller coasters, including the famous Ride of Steel. The coaster used to be called the Superman Ride of Steel, but the name changed in 2007. People still often call it the Superman, standing at 208 feet tall and with a drop of 205 feet. The Ride of Steel is an adrenaline-pumping roller coaster that goes really fast, reaching speeds of 73 miles per hour. The ride has exciting drops, including the 205-foot drop, and ends with a dizzying 500-degree twist. A ride like that? What's there not to like? Because of the success of this roller coaster, Six Flags decided to create an exact copy of the Superman Ride of Steel. This was built in 1999, nearly 2 decades after Darien Lake opened, and cost around $12 million. In all those years, many people think that there wasn't a single accident with one of those steel roller coasters. But in 1999, a 37-year-old man named Mike Dwalibi fell out of his seat 10 feet to the ground as the ride was braking on its final approach. He suffered multiple rib fractures and internal injuries. The theme park then stated that his weight was probably to blame. The man weighed over 300 pounds. Despite the heavy injuries, no one knew what was going to happen on the same roller coaster years later. Both roller coasters had safety bars and seat belts for protection, but no one could have predicted that the steel roller coaster in Six Flag Darien Lake was ready for another tragedy. The death of a 29-year-old renowned war veteran and beloved family man. James Hackemer was a father of 2 beautiful young girls, 3 and 4 years old at the time, and loved spending time with his family. They truly meant the world to him. James Hackemer was also a beloved colleague in the military. Our war hero served multiple times in Iraq. However, his dedication to serving his country got him into his first tragedy. In 2007, on his second mission to Iraq, James was badly injured when a bomb exploded next to his vehicle. He lost both of his legs and even suffered a traumatic brain injury. Determined as he was, he decided to recover, and he managed to do just that. But it was difficult and painful. Not long after losing both of his legs, James had a stroke and was in a coma for over a month due to blood loss. He had to learn how to speak, walk, and write again. James Hackemer was a double amputee and he had to walk with his prosthesis. It was a difficult and hard process, but he felt he was a lucky man to still be alive. But the rehabilitation was rough and it took him over 3 years to fully recover. However, Hackemer had been staying active since returning home. He quit the army and he was ready to enjoy his life to the fullest. But then, when the future looked bright again, another tragic and deadly event happened. James Hackemer decided to take his sister Jody with her son and his 2 daughters to Darien Lake Amusement Park Resort to enjoy life and spend quality time with his family. And how could they not ride the famous Ride of Steel, also known as the Superman? He had already proven multiple times that he was kind of a Superman himself, right? But not even Superman could have prevented what happened next. James got in line for the Ride of Steel. The park website says that all passengers must be taller than 4.5 feet, and that those with certain body proportions may not be able to ride. But no one told James that he couldn't board the ride. No, staff members told him he could board any ride he wanted. With his prosthesis, he obviously was large enough for the steel roller coaster. A big mistake with deadly consequences. His family and friends were all happy to see James enjoy life again. And as he waited in line, his family wasn't worried. What could go wrong? Hackemer wasn't wearing his prosthetic legs when he got onto the ride. This didn't seem to be a problem though. But then, things took a turn for the worst. Hackemer was seated in the front car together with his nephew, fully secured with bars and seatbelts, ready to go. He deserved this, enjoying life with his family. However, during the first major drop, James wasn't able to keep himself in his seat. Then, the worst thing that could happen became reality. With a speed of 50 miles per hour, James Hackemer was catapulted from his seat before hitting the ground. Everyone started screaming, but the park employees thought that they were just yelling because of the thrill and excitement. Quickly enough though, everyone realized that James was no longer in his seat. Instant panic. What happened? Staff members immediately called for help while the ride was shut down. The 29-year-old man died on the spot. Heather Comer, an eyewitness, was at the park at the time of the accident. She was shaking pretty badly while stating it was the worst thing she had ever seen. "Some guy just fell out of the Superman right in front of me." An autopsy showed that the cause of death of Hackemer was due to forced trauma. Later, Nancy Hackemer, James' mother, said that she really hopes he enjoyed the ride and that he was happy. She was well aware of the earlier tragedies her son had been through. She went on record to say, "We shouldn't have had him for these last 3 years and 4 months. After he was hit by the bomb in Iraq, he died once in the field and once on the operating table." The Darien Lake theme park started an investigation to find out how this deadly event could happen. The investigation showed that nothing went wrong mechanically. The safety bars and seatbelts were working correctly. So how could this have happened? Witnesses overheard the conversation in which park employees said that he could go on any ride in the park. According to safety measurements, this was not the case. However, it's not clear if James didn't read the safety policies or just didn't follow the rules that day. It stated that riders must have 2 legs and sufficient body strength. Was James stubborn and ignoring the rules? Or did the staff members neglect the safety procedures? Nobody was charged or sued for the accident, as the safety advice was ignored on both sides. A settlement was reached in a lawsuit against the park. After James died, his sister Jody said to reporters that it must have been her brother's best time since he was injured. She said that it was the only time in the last 3.5 years that he felt completely normal again. Although this event is beyond tragic, James' mom and sister are planning a celebration of life for her son. 2 young girls lost their beloved father that day, while everyone was shocked by the story. This event makes us wonder how safe roller coasters really are. Do we put our life in the hands of staff members? These tragic events make us rethink whether it's safe to ride a roller coaster. Did you like this video and story? Check out our channel to discover more roller coaster tragedies. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.